We've all done it. We've all driven down the side of the road and just said, hey, that's a tree I could go for. Department of Transportation, whatever state you're in, generally mows down the edges so you can have a good line of sight. And that can be beneficial to bonsai hunters because you can find some very interesting things that may or may not be useful. Look at this hornbeam. This is just awesome. This thing is probably about 4.5, 5 inches right there. And I got this big long branch that's next to me. I don't know how well it's rooted in the ground. Yeah, it's pretty solid. We got all these rocks around here that make it very difficult to get out. There's also right behind it, right there, is a Virginia juniper, which also might make this difficult. But this tree, I might just have to consider what I can do. Look at this guy. You can see it. Focus in. But it's, I don't know. It can make some interesting stuff. Something to keep in mind. It's loose, which means I can dig it up. The roots, because I'm looking downhill, the roots are probably coming up this way, so I need to keep that in mind, which means this thing is going to be slanted out. It's going to be kind of funky. You know, it's got some large sections to it. You can see there's a scar right there. It's starting to callus over. And I might be able to clean that out, or leave that and clean this out. I like working with this material because, one, it allows me to toy around, experiment a little bit without really worrying of damaging a really nice Yamadori. And you never know, you might come up with some really interesting things in the process.
Get a lot of funky looks working on the side of the road, but it'll be worth it.
And here's the needle juniper, common juniper. Let's see, it's got a pretty interesting trunk here. Some nice stuff. For reference. This is in a ditch. Alright, whoa, look at that. Oh, fooled. I thought that was a nice live tree. Nope. That one's toast. As always, be very careful when you're working on the side of the road. Here, the Department of Transportation has cut away this guy right here. This is big. That base is probably 9 inches in diameter. Look at that beauty. There's a good and bad point about this. One, it's already been cut. I can clean up some of this. Two, it may or may not pop out. Three, is getting that baddie out of all this rock. I mean, this stuff is loose. It can fall into the road, which is not good. One, for safety reasons. Two, for the annoyance of the people who are trying to get by. Something to think about, though. Look at this thing. That's what I'm talking about. That's it right there. Look at the shape, curve, the interest. And it's right in the middle of a rock. It's really loose. There may be, right here, where this rock is, there may be just a little bit of an indentation that could probably be hidden either A, by soil, or it could be hidden by a rock, some moss or something. We won't even know until we dig this up in the spring. But I'm getting this guy. I mean, look at that. It's just curve, 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 curve. And it's got all these beautiful little flutes in there that I just love. So, as always, it's best to get permission from the owner, no matter who it is. That includes the Department of Transportation, who maintains the roads here. I have called on the Department of Transportation before, and they have given me permission. But rules change from year to year. So there's always the possibility that what was relevant one year will not be relevant in the next. So I will be calling again this year to check and see what the possibilities are, if I can. Generally, from me, it has been 20 feet from the road. It might be 15 feet, which limits what I can and cannot take. But it's always best, because otherwise you might get arrested. You might get shot at. You might get in a lot of trouble. So let's avoid that. As bonsai enthusiasts, we want to be respectful of other people's property, and that will make things better for everybody. If you have bonsai artists just going and collecting whatever they can find off the side of the road without asking permission, it puts a bad name on everybody. So let's avoid that at all costs.